Hey everybody, happy Wednesday. Hope everyone is doing well. Man, we got a show for you today. I just witnessed two Eddie Van Halen absolute diehard fans playing a shit ton of Eddie Van Halen riffs, and it's been nonstop for almost the last hour. So, with me today, I have two amazing guitar players. I've got Gene Schmidt, who is in a Van Halen tribute band, and joining him, I have Philip Shouse, who used to play in an Eddie Van Halen tribute band and is currently part of Ace and Gene's solo band, and also happens to be the newest guitarist in the band. Except, so without further ado, let me bring these gentlemen back on. Here we have Gene. Nice.
How do I follow that?
Hey. Good night, folks.
Yeah, it's going to be lots of it. All right, before we get going, we got 29 folks in here. Let me just say a quick hello, and then we'll get moving here. We got Sandra Picorni. Hey, sweetie. Nice to see you. Thanks for being here. Zach Dong is with us. Michael Sin, welcome. Merrill J. Spencer Cron, Dwight Bailey, James Severin. Nice to see you. Just real quick. Half-Face is with us. Paul Luce checking in. Awesome. Original Paramutant, Brian S. And we got Thomas Santiago. Hey, nice to see you. CK is with us. Six String Brian, Dan in New Jersey. All right. I think I got everyone in the chat. Folks, as we go through, Mark Wade, Time Has Been Kind, welcome. Gary Joyce, Lars Guitars, now everybody's piling in. Rick Hefner, cool. So while we're going through this, folks, there's going to be these guys are going to be playing like crazy. We're going to be doing a ton. Well, they're going to be doing it. I'm just going to watch. They're going to be doing a ton of playing. If you have questions as we go through, because I'm streaming on both Facebook and YouTube, so my name was not highlighted. I need you folks to put a ton of question marks in front of your question, and then I'll be able to see it right away. Okay. All right. So let's start with Gene. Gene, Van Halen, Eddie, he's your guy. Am I right?
Yep.
All right. Why, or when did you decide this is the guy that I want?
Seventh grade, man, was I didn't know squat about music. I think at the time Eddie Grant's Electric Avenue was like top of my list, right? Buddy, my John Lasik in seventh grade introduced me to Van Halen and AC/DC, and I'd already been noodling on the guitar at that time, but that's what did it. And when he lent me Van Halen 1, the album, putting the vinyl on, and I thought every single bent note was a whammy bar, so I absolutely had to have a whammy bar. I didn't know about bending notes back then.
Right.
That's when it started, so I was probably 12, 13.
Wow, and that's when you're the most impressionable for sure, right?
Yeah.
About yourself, Philip?
13. It was for my 13th birthday. My brother Kevin got me a CD player. It was in 1988, and it was 10 years after they heard it. But the first time I heard Eddie, I didn't know about any fast guitar playing. Because from age 10 on. From age 10, I discovered the Beatles, and that's all I cared about and all I listened to for that many years. I was digging in hard. Then my brother got me that CD, and skipped to track number 2 of Van Halen 1, and I didn't know what it was because even though I grew up in the era of speed guitar and hair metal, I didn't know anything about it. I really lived in Nebraska and didn't have MTV and didn't give a fuck about anything that wasn't Beatles.
Right.
And it hit me the same way as a kid in '78 when he put it on. I didn't know what it was, but I had to chase that. I was like, well, that sounds, because it was mind-blowingly amazing and jaw-droppingly groundbreaking and everything like that, but it was also sounded fun.
Mm-hmm.
It was like, I know everybody, it's the one thing about Van Halen, it's like California summertime and the top down and the windows, all that stuff, and it's true, it just sounded like fun. And I didn't know what they looked like or anything. And then when you saw them, like every picture, these guys were smiling their asses off. And that was a big part of it. The energy and the fun was what really sold me.
That's true. That's true. So, what we're gonna try to do in some type of an organized manner here is we're gonna try to get through as many Van Halen riffs, tricks, maybe a little, not entire leads, but maybe. And what these guys were telling me off air is that a lot of it really comes down to there's a shit ton of these little patterns that he just seems to repeat. So, but before I get into that, being in a tribute band, well, I'll start with you, Gene. What is your hardest, most difficult Van Halen solo to play?
It's funny because that would be the ones I still don't even try to play live, right? It's kind of not a fair question because anything after I'm able to play it, it's not hard anymore.
Right.
But forever, I can play the intro to Mean Streets when I'm not in front of people or sitting down. But I skipped the shit out of that. Live, I just go,
Yeah.
And then the guys in my band are just, they're like, man, they want to run a recording. They just feel like Sheldon Cooper having someone blow his candles out on his birthday for him. You really feel left out. But,
intro to Mean Streets. What about you, Philip?
It's one that we never did, Hang 'em High. I still can't fucking play the intro to Hang 'em High. And that's one of the, that whole thing is just one incredible piece of music from all the chord changes and all the solos and rhythm at the same time. I still can't do that. I don't know how to do that.
Yeah.
That one, the Mean Streets intro, the slapping part, I could do, but then when it came to the tapping harmonics, just forget about it.
Yeah, it's like you messed up. It's a pain in the ass.
That was it. Yeah, that was a hard one. And I'm trying to think. Hang 'em High, we didn't try because I couldn't do it. It was like, we want to do this one. It was like, I'm sorry, we can't. We got a lot more songs we can play besides that one. I still can't do it. It's insane.
All right. Okay, so we'll start with Eugene. So let's start. You know what? Why don't we start simple, and then kind of, because I'm hoping that most of you watching, are Van Halen fans and B are guitar players. And at this point, you maybe should have your guitar in your lap because these guys are going to show you a lot of stuff here.
I was taking lessons from Gene in the hour before. There's patterns. Well, I want him to do it again. It's awesome. But whenever he gets to it,
Yeah, it's he does it in a lot of songs. I took notes over here, but that's in what the hell?
I love that
somewhere. Romeo Delight, Eruption, and Bottoms Up outro guitar solo. You start to find these patterns.
Oh yeah, that was good because it's 14, 17, and 20. Because the cool thing about those wide stretches is because when you change to a higher string, you're playing a lower note in pitch.
Right. And that's what makes it sound all fucked up.
You've got all these weird got like half step differences too, where it's like, what's happening? It's really weird.
Oh, okay, that makes sense why he does that.
All that stuff, yeah.
So before we get into the simpler, and then we'll build up. There was already one question here, and I missed it.
We're already off script.
Yeah, but try our damnedest.
Okay, somebody was asking. I can't find the question, but I think it was White. Oh, here it is. I've never. This is original Paramutant is saying I've never heard anyone nail the groove from "I'm the One."
Dude, that is one of the hardest things to get to sit right. That thing is so slung, and it's the way that sits in there, and the way he's palm muting it is like he's letting it ring. He's cutting the fretted notes. It's an open A and then a 5 and 7 on there. He's kind of cutting them off. It's so awesome. And that was a hard one. That was after Eruption. That was the one that ripped my head off. It just never stopped. And that was just a great one. And that's a good, cool example of how much that delay is important. So I got my Kemper over here, and I'm using the Top Jimmy Van Halen packs, which is phenomenal. If you got a Kemper, get it. But I made that delay myself. So here's it without the delay. With the delay. It's like it adds this. There's a lot of reverb, but that big delay gives us this big, just huge echo. It just sounds massive from one guitar.
It sounds more like the groove when you have the all that delay on.
Yeah, and it really does. The Van Halen one the delay was way more prominent on that one, kind of the whole record, because that same delay is on the one too, and also. You can hear like in all that tunes, you can hear the delay like as part of the guitar sound, not like an effect, but he's playing off of it. So it's really, really cool.
Yeah, it's almost like it's part of the rhythm, right?
Exactly. It's like that it's half those are delays.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, so Gene, start simple. Van Halen, what for guys like me, what would be like you want to play a Van Halen riff or a little pattern? What would be like a good thing to play?
So this question about "I'm the One" was perfect because it's not just a lead. I mean, he had to have been one of the best rhythm guitarists ever, right?
Yeah,
so there's just so much, but like, so this is Love, and I did not practice this one beforehand, so I might forget. It's like.
Love it.
Like just those notes. Now shit, I already forgot.
That part, that ending right there is so good. It's so good.
Yeah, it's just these dissonant.
It's so good.
Yeah.
You can bring me out now. I'm staring at myself. Yeah.
What about you, Phil? What would be like an easier one that?
Man, the very first one I learned. Shit, I fucked it up. It's so easy I can't play it. It's A minor chord with an F and then a G, so it's like that. It's the easiest. It's the first one I ever learned on guitar.
It's the only one I can play.
Was that song? Yeah. Then that's great. So that's the one I would start. With that one or all that.
Yeah, it really got me. Yeah. All right. Again, the other thing I should mention is while we're going through, if anyone has any requests, I guarantee these guys can do it, but if there's a lick that you've been working on or you're not sure if you're playing something right, I'm sure one of these guys or the two of them together will be able to fill in that gap.
We'll figure it out together at the same time and blow everybody's confused. Yeah.
All right. So what are some of the kind of simple, because you guys are doing all these like crazy patterns. What are some of the wait a minute, here's a question. What model Charvel is Gene playing? See some music is asking.
This is just a Mexican SoCal. I bought it off of Guitar Center, and somebody swapped all the hardware off for black hardware and black pickups. So that's why it might look like it's something special, but it's not.
Okay. All right.
And these guitars I made this, and I have the one behind me, and they play like such shit. I refuse to play them unless I have to right now. It'll just make it that much harder on me.
No worries. So, what are some of the simpler like patterns? Signature patterns that Eddie plays. Because I know you guys were talking off air, like he does this in this song, he does it also in this song. There's certain things, sort of go-to things that he seems to play on a lot of songs. Is there anything that's kind of simple that you could kind of show us? I'm gonna feature you again, Gene, on this.
Sir, Phil was geared up, man. I watched his fingers move to 12 fret. You can have it.
We're gonna get back to your that wide stretch one. This one he does. There's one that he does in I'm the One twice in two different keys. So the one in E, like that. So plays quickly, and then A he does it like that. So that's one, and then all it is 11, 12, 14 when you're playing in an E, right? And if you're in A, it's 16, 17, 19. So like that. And he would always pick different patterns, a lot of them with wide stretches. Gene's going to do one of those in a little bit. And he'd do them over all 6 strings. And so like in that key, you're playing major and minor notes. So it isn't like really a scale, but like but if you play them quick enough, it's like it just kind of goes over like his passing tones, and it does catch your ear because it's like, well, that's kind of odd, but then it's gone.
Yeah, you start on the 11th fret, right?
Yeah. So you're starting on a major third and a minor. And an Eddie Newsom theory, I think, a little bit, but he really didn't write using it. And you can tell because later on, I want to break down another song that's completely insane. The writing of the guitar solo section, the accompaniment is just completely nuts in pop music. I say pop music because they're popular, because it's not like some cult cult band with a cult following. It's like they were on the radio, they were huge. So I'm going to say when I say pop music, that's what I mean, because they were immensely popular and they were doing things that bands didn't do.
Right. You got something like that, Gene? Little. All right, let me feature you here.
Basically, same thing in pentatonic. Before Eddie, a lot of guys would just, or if Eddie would do the like, but it's it hit landing on that blue note, which is the not another not nice note, but at 100 miles an hour, it sounds great.
Yeah.
Just messing with the blues around that, but it's just getting that speed and that pattern.
Wow.
Yeah. And I love but please do the 14, 17, 21. That's my favorite one. That is the most Van Halen thing you can hear, I think. I mean, that is so Eddie Van Halen. It's so great. It's just so many tunes. It's an Eruption, Bottoms Up, Romeo Delight.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's
Eruption. It's like he starts that's that little run.
Yeah.
Right before there, but it's where he just tosses it in real quick.
Yeah.
Can you slow that pattern down? And
I'm trying to get it right up. The camera's opposite the way I feel. See, like. If I do my pinky, it looks like I'm using my third finger, and I'm not, because I can't get this sucker out of the way. So I'm just using it. It's pretty typical way you would use it.
Yeah. But he would also like, I've seen some live stuff around 82, 83. He would do that 9, 12, 15.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he would do that one. There's another one. You've got weird notes in there too, but it sounds great. Yeah, he was doing that all the time back in those days. Like at the end of certain songs, it was like his ending cadenza thing that he would do.
Yeah.
And then also the one. That one, it's 12, 14, 16, 19. That's Ice Cream Man. And some other ones, I think, too.
probably.
That's Ice Cream Man for sure. Like the live Ice Cream Man, I think. And he just plays it so fast and like so clean. It's like
so smooth.
All the notes that might not be in the scale don't really matter, or in the chord, I mean, might not really matter, just because.
Again, that's a pattern straight down the neck.
Right,
we were talking about
all 6 strings. Yeah, it was like, wow.
The full bug. He does.
Yeah, it's so killer, and also the open, like you were talking about, and the open string, like when you play it that fast, when you're doing the open string pull off stuff, like in Somebody Get Me a Doctor, he does that. He would do that a lot too.
Somebody Gave Me a Doctor. I'm the One. 5150. I made a list of songs that he did. It's when he had a chance to solo in B. You can almost guarantee he was going to, because it's got an open B string in there.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then also that little Dorian thing. Like that's in I'm the One. It's in a bunch of tunes like that.
One of the things I asked these guys, because again they play, in a whole bunch of Van Halen solos. I said, what kind of scales is he playing? And it's like, it's more a bunch of patterns than it is scales, because it's sort of like just a mosh of major, minor notes that don't even belong. And it's just, if you're playing them that fast and execute them like that, it works, right?
Yeah.
And and then one of you guys mentioned, I forget who it was, because you always mention Alan Holdsworth.
Yeah.
As him, as being and only when you guys mention that, and that whole idea of sort of, almost playing to intervals as opposed to like worrying about scales, and that's the whole thing right there. Like when you say that, like now I get the Alan Holdsworth reference that everybody talks about. Right now, makes sense to me.
Fair warning, his playing changed quite considerably. Like that was the first record that he got in. I think that he got into Holdsworth pretty heavy, and they're like there's like, because like we were talking about So This Is Love, even the Main Street, like things like that, like just the really hammer on,
slinky sounding.
Yeah
Cool.
And that stuff was it's out of his crazy stuff. But that was the first, like, Fair Warning was a departure. It was like, a little bit of an advancement, I think. Not just, he went a little bit further, like, oh, that's different. You know, you haven't heard that before, which he did on every record a little bit, but that was a big step with Fair Warning.
Solo for Push Comes to Shove. Probably the craziest effing. I don't know it. I don't know if you do, but I certainly am not. But like that's a must.
God.
Yeah.
I still haven't edited this, but in the weeks after his passing, I interviewed Dave and Snake, Snake and Scotty from Skid Row, Damon Johnson, Ron and Buddy Roto, a couple other guitar players about Eddie, and that one came up for like top solo more than anybody. It was like Push Comes to Shove, and it was like it's just ridiculous.
Yeah, it is.
And I wonder, it was like how. Like, what a brain hears that backing track and plays that. The same with Beat It. It's like, that was second take?
No, it had to. Yeah,
like, how do you hear that? It's just so incredible. It's like I'd sit down and like, well, I'm gonna play this, his stock licks, and it's just completely. He saw the fretboard differently than anybody. We all do. But he did definitely, and it was just all
pioneer.
What? It's out of this world, man.
So we got CK's got a couple of requests. He's asking for the Mean Street riff, which we talked about, and Unchained.
Mean Street. Let me dial up my Fair Warning sound here.
All right.
The beginning is. That's the intro. Then the chorus.
Yeah, you got to get those sounds in there, man.
Yeah, I got the EVH phaser and flanger at my feet. I'm also going into the flanger first, phaser, and then I'm going into an Exotic USA EP booster, which is like the preamp of the Echoplex, which we all know Eddie used. So I'm going into that into my Kemper. So I'm using the Kemper delays and Kemper amp sound, but phaser, flanger, and booster are stomp boxes.
But playing that riff now, that reminds me of one thing with Eddie's stuff. I mean, and you're kind of demonstrating it right there. Is like there's that kind of busy riff, but man, it just grew. Just the way he just lays it down.
Just so awesome. Alex was a swing drummer. He played in his dad's swing band, so that they've both got that background, and they're both that age too, where they're not so far removed from all that stuff. Now we're so far removed, it's kind of gone from new music, which is unfortunate. But those guys are, from that era, and they play with their dad, and just like, Main Street's not hard. It's just so fucking killer.
Yeah, it is.
So good.
Yeah. Yeah, like I mean, I'm watching you play it. I'm like, okay, I could probably play the notes.
Oh yeah, hell you can.
But to make groove,
playing the notes is one thing. But when you did the tribute, like I did, and I know Gene does too, getting everything else right, getting the palm, because I got freakish about it. Like I dove head first in and rabbit hole, trying to get your palm mute right. Use the same voicings he did. It's just, palm mute lighter here and heavier here. It's so many things. Getting the rests, getting the space between the notes right is a whole other thing that's as important as, getting the notes.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And that's all part and parcel of the groove. That's what makes a groove. It's all those accents and things he puts in between there.
So amazing.
Yeah. Very cool. So what are some of your favorite Van Halen songs, like riffs? Start with you, Gene.
I'm getting it. I had to drop D just in case, because what you call it, Unchained popped up or something. But it's not my favorite. Let's see. So, and I did see House of Pain. Let's see. That's I had to picture the song in my head. That, and then there's a breakdown, and that is, I just love it. It's like,
Oh yeah.
yeah, it's just,
Yeah, that sounds awesome, man.
Yeah, that's
Thanks.
House of Pain. That was written before they had their deal too.
yeah, it doesn't sound anything like it though. If you listen to those old demos, like you might be able to pick a couple parts out, but
Yeah. Oh, that's such a. We didn't do that one. I never really learned. I know the main parts, but then there's the weird.
yeah, that solo so tasty. It's off the hook. It goes off the rails.
Yeah.
And the other one, and we didn't talk favorite albums. I mean, I'm Van Halen 1 in '84, and it's Tones, and it's the B-sides on '84. Girl Gone Bad is some of the most sick rhythm playing ever.
That thing stays the whole time.
Yeah, and he jumps in and out, hitting those chords, and it's just immaculate. It's a work of art.
I like because that one and House of Pain both have that kind of stuff. The little 2-string slide thing that's in both of those tunes. And like Hot for T-shirt also. But yeah, there's so many. Yeah, House of Pain. I mean, Girl Gone Bad is just. It's so out there, man. It's so great.
What are some of your favorite songs or riffs?
I was going through today. I was thinking about the first one I always play is Somebody Get Me a Doctor is among my favorite entire songs. There's so many cool things on that one. That's a hard one to play. It may sound easy, but it's hard to get the muting right, and it's hard to get everything to feel right, especially this. That's hard. That's tough. But I wanted to bring this up because it's so insane, because the genius of Van Halen was how they would the songwriting is so completely out there for anything going on in pop music. The guitar solo section in this is insane because the solo is great, but the writing behind it, I think he wrote the solo first and then wrote the accompaniment after it, because it starts in B, right? That part, B, then has the G section, that part, right? But then he goes to these little things here. Right? Okay, so from the G, he goes F to E, F to G. Then this. What's that? B flat, C, D, E. And then he repeats it. But what's weird is that it sounds like when you get to the E, it's like, oh yeah, it resolved. That's a whole tone scale. That's not in pop music at all. It's like, what the fuck? And you don't realize it. You don't know it until you sit down and learn it. And you're like, I don't play that in any other song. That move. That's not in songs that we play on guitar. It's like in classical and jazz and stuff. that to me is just the
That's
fact that
interesting. So he wrote.
and he solos over the whole thing so completely effortlessly, and it's just like these patterns. It's one of his written solos. You can tell because patterns that he always would play. But that thing at the end, like, who does that? And that was the genius of them. They can make all that stuff so digestible and so it didn't sound crazy. Didn't sound like it wasn't supposed to be there. It didn't sound like it's not supposed to sound right. It's not supposed to be in like pop music, or on the radio, which they were with all those kind of writing, like the Beatles were when they came out. They were doing stuff that, from the first album, right? Doing chord progressions that weren't in pop music. Same with Van Halen in the writing, just insane.
Yeah, it's crazy that you're like what you're saying. He wrote a song around a solo, made it work.
Yeah, I was like, you can tell because you can tell he wrote these are great little licks. And then down here. And that sounds great. When you break it down, you're like, that is the most craziest thing for a song to have in a solo. Unrelated to in a whole other key, changes keys a bunch, then goes back to E and A, then A. Then it sounds great. It's totally no rules.
We got a couple of requests. Atomic Punk has come up, and On Fire.
Oh no, On Fire's a good one. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Who wants to take it?
Which one do you want? Let's take one each. What do you want to do, Gene?
I'll play either.
All right, I'll do On Fire. So in the beginning of On Fire, the flanger's on. Shit. But then we can't forget about the best riff of all time.
Yeah, that's a great riff. Man.
Incredible. Well,
You can't not do the solo.
oh God, patterns. Here we go. And the major thing at the end. Yeah. So that's like it's 4-5-7, then 5-7-9, 7-9-11, 9-10-12, 10-12-14, 12-14, 16.
I found it's the same way he starts out. What's the other one? Oh, and I'm the one. He does like that, the chromatic roll first.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's that. Well, that's fucked up.
Yeah.
There you go. You gonna do Atomic Punk?
Space.
Oh yeah. I was gonna say I heard somewhere when they were cutting or when he was trying to think of a solo for On Fire, Dave or somebody said play something like John McLaughlin would play.
That sounds about right.
And then so he goes, okay. And he did that pattern thing. Yeah. But that's one of my favorite solos. It's over that part. And it's just like, it just this tension building thing. It's just perfect for
that's great. Yeah.
That's like one of their proto metal tunes. Like that, Light Up the Sky and Atomic Punk.
Light Up the Sky too. Yeah.
Are you okay for Atomic Punk or should we move on?
Well, we can move on, or I could just play the guitar solo for Atomic Punk because I fucking practiced.
Okay, all right. Put time into this.
But it's all those double bends that he did a lot of.
And he has that cool slapback echo on that one too. That he has the additional delay, the quick one.
Well, I got a slow one there. I got lazy with my delays.
He turns on a fast, like almost like a 50 slapback. It was really fast one. And I love on that one because he got the flangers on the phasers on the whole time. But then the flanger kicks off the spaceship ship. He kicked both of them on. Well, that was a big deal when I realized that. I was like, oh.
Yeah, I didn't realize that. I'm stealing that.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
Flanger, so anytime you have to make it, he even does it in Ain't Talking About Love. That second on the C and the B, he kicks the flanger on. And
did not realize that. Awesome.
He was good on Somebody Get Me a Doctor. He does the phasers off, except for it's on there, but then he kicks it off for the main riff. So he was cool about adding effects in, like, just to accent things.
All right. If anyone's got any more requests for these guys, fire away. Oh, here we go. Cecil Music, Feel Your Love Tonight solo. Who wants to take this one?
Yeah.
Not bad for memory. I love that lyric.
I played that better earlier today too. It's rusty.
Yeah, I love the. That thing is good. I love that.
I played that different. Same thing with the end of Ice Cream Man. Like, but I think he goes.
I love that one. Yes, now the same thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right,
we got a couple more here, guys. Intro to Women in Love.
Oh no, we were just talking about it. No, you know what? But the intro is so hard. But you know what I do love? Oh God, the song is.
There you go.
Yeah, this is such a good one.
Right.
We were talking about how hard that intro is just before we started filming.
We got we got Huff for Teacher.
Do that one.
Man, just watching you do that, my fingers hurt. Oh, here's the song you guys were talking about before we started. Top Jimmy.
There's some like open tuning to that.
I don't know that one.
Three different guitar parts going all at once.
All right.
But I did see. I'm scrolling through here.
Everybody wants
Pre-chorus on Change. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Similar to Panama, isn't it?
The pre-chorus to Unchained is. But the timing on that took forever, and it's ingrained, burned in the back of my brain.
Yeah, that's some crazy timing, man.
It's in 4/4. That's the crazy thing. It's in 4. If you count it 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, the whole time it never leaves. It's in 4. But Ed heard 1 in different places. I read interviews with Al about that, and he would talk about that. It's like, yeah, Ed, here's 1 somewhere else.
Okay, we got
there's a song like that on Different Kind of Truth. As is in it's the way it starts is in 4/4, but it's just completely mangled 4/4. I saw a cathedral.
Yeah, I was gonna ask the cathedral.
I can kind of half-ass.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forget the chords, but you got to have your delay.
It's a pain in the ass to play live.
When you have your delay right, that's what it sounds like.
Yeah.
And then the whole this thing, you got to let just enough get through without too much, because then every string will ring. So that's a beast to
I planned on doing it at our last Diver Down gig, and I wound up with a blister on my pinky, and I was like, "Fuck that! I ain't gonna be able to do it."
You can't use a regular vinyl. I've got an MXR knob on mine, like Eddie's, so it doesn't have those little grooves in it. But if you use one of those, you're gonna have a raw finger, man.
I did.
Okay, I think you guys might have mentioned this off air in a simple rhyme.
Oh, man. Hang on. Something like that. I can't think. I never did learn that one.
Me neither.
There's that one. Oh, here's one.
Oh yeah.
Somebody call. That's from the request line.
There you go.
Yeah, and I listened to your new album today. It's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
I blew through it a couple times, man. Yeah.
Awesome, man. Thank you.
The new Accept album, you got to hear it.
For those that don't know, Philip Shouse is the guitarist for Accept, and his is it out?
It's out.
It's
out
out
in all formats everywhere.
Okay. The link for your accept page is below the link. I think I have your Facebook and you've got your own personal Phil Shouse accept page.
Oh,
I
yeah.
have that below. I have your Facebook below. I also have Gene's YouTube channel below. So check these guys out. They're like amazing. Well, you've heard. Sick players, man. Sick players. Cool. Yeah. And I mean, it's stupid for me to even ask. Was the next thing? Oh, you got a record out. So when are you gonna tour? But who the hell knows, right? At this point,
We're dying, man. We're dying to play these new songs. We got all these new songs, and we may have to wait. Who knows how long till we get to do them. So we want to trust us.
Oh yeah. And people are talking about the new Accept. Anybody hear the new Accept? How's the new Accept?
Any album with a song called "Sucks to Be You," I think that's what.
Be you.
I got a kick out of that one.
That one, not my problem. It's pretty good too.
Yeah, it's awesome.
We were all really, really proud of how it came out, and everybody seems.
It should be. Holy fuck!
We've been real happy with the response so far. So.
Too Mean to Die.
Yep. So thanks to everybody who's heard it and enjoys it and got a copy. Thank you.
Yeah,
amazing,
man. Awesome.
So when we do get back out, I'm gonna have this fucking thing down. I'm gonna be wearing that out on stages near you.
So we're getting near the end. Let's close on that. So these two guys. Everything's backwards. We're trying to explain how to play this crazy, again, symmetrical run. Gene was trying to show. So first of all, tell me where that run is from, and then if you can show Philip and then everybody else kind of how to do it. So, but put it in context. Where does that come from? I'm gonna soul you.
All right. I'm gonna put on the good stuff here to make me sound better. It's in Eruption. Really quick. Right here. It's that little run. And then it's in I'm the One. Not I'm the One. Sorry. I made notes because I forgot. The bottoms up outro solo. I didn't practice the solo, but I just know it's in there. Something like that.
Romeo Delight too.
Yeah, and then I haven't played that one in forever. You were playing it earlier, but that's.
And it's right there.
And you notice that he ended it with the. That's part of it somewhere.
And one thing about his bar technique was real cool. It's real controlled. Like he would do all these like half step, and he'd be like.
Right. You gotta have a target. You can't just go. Crunch it.
He didn't drop it to the guitar body every time. Yeah. Like he would like barely like microtones. Like barely.
Eddie, I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm nuts. You guys know who Bruce Lee is?
Who?
No. They call me Bruce. No, that was a movie from the 80s. Yeah, Bruce Lee.
Eddie Van Halen always reminded me of Bruce Lee. He's like the Bruce Lee of guitar. And if you know, Bruce Lee is like the kung fu master.
That kind of makes sense.
He even looked like he was probably the same build back in the day.
Same build,
same build,
muscle, whatever. And if you put them side by side, he would always remind me of like if Bruce Lee played guitar, he would be Eddie Van Halen.
That's a really cool comparison. I
Yeah,
really
it
like
is.
that a lot.
Maybe
That's
it's just
awesome.
my twisted mind, but I always put those two guys together for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Okay, if there are no more, I'm looking for last minute requests from these two Van Halen-ites.
Yep, you're right, Cecil. His Floyds were set up for dive only. No pull up, which is how mine is.
Yeah, that's the way my other ones are.
And it's how Wolf sets up his guitars too.
Okay, Craven Soda is asking, I've got an Ernie ball with the Wang bar on it. I'm not very good at yeah, I've never been a Wang bar guy. Oh, here's one. Okay, we'll end it with this one. This is Hugh Caldwell. I think did you guys do this already? I think it's Girl Gone Bad. He's asking for.
I see one. I've seen one request I've skipped over a couple times. Love you.
Cool.
You know, I did tune this little fucking thing, and I saw somebody.
Yeah, there it is.
It's falling out of tune.
That's good.
It's a piece of shit. Yeah, I keep going.
That's great.
And this is what I love about this, because I always forget how to tune it. So I have the tuning taped on top there for my
Is it
tuner.
a whole step up, like F sharp, B?
Well, it's half step down, whole step up, so it's an F.
Oh yeah,
Right,
yeah.
because-
Okay, yeah.
Oh my god.
But like, as you're playing that intro to that song, who writes shit like that? Like a
I know.
guitar rock band. That's insane.
Not even to mention the technique he did beforehand with this with the intro.
God, the little guitars intro. It's just so it's like, and it's crazy. Like the intro of that song doesn't happen again in the song. It's just the intro, and it's the most amazing composition. It's ridiculous.
It's not going to be loud enough, but yeah, he makes it sound like he's like this amazing flamenco guitar player, and he cheats the living shit out of it.
It's just.
But that was the beauty in it. Yeah, we can keep talking, Hack. You've been trying to close for a while.
Yeah,
It's so hard to stop nerding out over this
Here's
stuff.
a favorite of mine. I love this. That intro is my favorite. It's just with the way the flange and the delay comes in. He just totally knew like how to use effects the right way and how to use the tone the right way for the right song. It's just.
It's like I mean, and you can't play the songs without those effects. It just doesn't sound.
No.
You know, it's part of the instrument.
You can't, man. Strictly Hip, Beautiful Girls. That's actually one of my hardest ones to do, and it's all about the groove. All about the groove is really hard to get that to sit right.
Shit. Yeah,
I got me a brand new Oakland scarf here, Nelson says.
yeah,
That part. That
yeah.
man, that verse part too is the hardest thing to get the set right.
Yeah.
That thing is such a bitch to get to feel right and to swing right. It's like those guys had a special.
So many of them.
Man.
Yeah,
It's
Alex and
so
Eddie.
hard.
All right.
It's so tough.
How about this? Last question for you guys.
For now.
We did what?
Until the next one.
What is the hardest groove? The hardest groove.
Probably for me personally, that one or I'm the one to get that right in there, because you got to have a drummer that's swinging too. I mean, if you that's half of it, is to get a guy that can swing. Luckily, I've been able to play those tunes with guys who can swing, so then it's on me. But Beautiful Girls was really tough, and I'm the one to get that thing to sit just right. It's so hard.
Yeah, and then well, I forgot it. Fuck. Yeah, whatever. I did that on YouTube, so it's up there.
I cannot play this, so it's just.
The hardest thing is that double pick. Yeah.
Did he alternate that the whole time? Take it. I forgot. There's videos of him doing that. It's just insane.
And the chord changes.
Just completely out of this world songwriting, man. Just oh fuck. Just insane.
I put it down because I won't be able to stop playing.
Yeah.
It's too wound up.
And there's all these other songs too, like Little Guitars, that's great. Secrets.
Oh yeah.
Like it's just so great. All those things. Just
See, that's people not understanding how crazy Diver Down the album was. It was there's some sick stuff on there.
People
and that was their least favorite. They love hating on it.
People love to hate that one, but they're wrong. Because Diver Down is awesome. Because even the covers they did are awesome, and the originals on there are all among their like full bug.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
Crazy.
All the ones I just mentioned, they're just absolutely incredible. Ooh, sucking a freebie. There's some Sammy for you for the first time.
Well, you know what? We could do a part 2 if you guys want.
We probably should.
In another month or so, we'll do a part 2. But just wanted to, man, we've been averaging like 70 plus. So thank you so much, everybody, for checking out the show. If you guys are new to the channel, please think of subscribing. Please hit the thumbs up on your way out. Before we close, though, I want to again repeat that the new Accept album is out, and this gentleman below us here is on that record. And down below, I've got a link to his Accept page. So go over there, give it a click, grab the record. It's amazing. Also, I have a link to Philip's Facebook page down below. And like I told Ryan Cook, you need a YouTube channel.
Yeah, he does. He totally
No,
does.
and you. I said the same thing to him last week. And Gene, his YouTube channel is below, and Gene is a monster player. Gene's doing like Yngwie stuff and Van Halen. Amazing stuff on that. So check those two channels out. Also, if you want to help support the Hack channel below, I've got merch. I've got hoodies and shirts, and I also now have hats too, because a lot of people are asking me for hats. So I've got Spreadshirt for hats. I've got Teespring for everything else, mugs and all that stuff. Also, if you want to help the channel, there is a PayPal down there. If you don't follow me on Instagram, Facebook, Guitar Hack Group, all that stuff is down there as well. So before we wrap up, Gene, anything you wanted to mention?
I just want to thank everybody for showing up and showing a lot of love. It was really heartwarming. Facebook was lit up with all kinds of support from all kinds of friends of mine and friends of Phil's, and that little doohickey intro you did today, or that went live, it meant a lot. It really did. It was awesome.
Oh yeah, man. Of course.
And thank you, Hack, for having us on. Really appreciate it. I always wanted to be on your show. Now it's 3 times.
Yeah. Yeah, we've been on it. We're a team now, Gene. It's been 3 for me too. So it's
Well, and there will be more. We'll do more of these. Philip, what about yourself? Anything you wanted to mention in closing?
The Accept Records out. Go check that out. The brand new Mutt Merch website is up too. I've got a clothing line, dog themed and rock and roll themed, called Mutt Merch. Muttmerch.com.
That's awesome.
So that's that brand new website's out. That and just Gene, good to see you again. Hack, good to see you again. Always a pleasure to be on the show. And
awesome.
Any other crazy ideas we can hatch, we'll come and do them.
Well, speaking of that, hang on tight, guys.
All right.
The crazy ideas are coming. All right, just hang tight for a second. So again, I want to thank everybody for watching. You guys absolutely rock. We'll see you next week. Next week, can't announce who my guest is because right now that is up in the air, and that's the beauty of doing a weekly show. You just don't know. Anyways, hope everybody has a good week, and we will catch you all next week. So take care, everybody.
Thank you very much.
Cheers.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks.
Thank you.